Hey guys, it's me again. I just want to do an update video. It's kind of late again, so hopefully the volume's not too bad. I just wanted to give you all an update and then start a new project for myself, which a lot of my videos are for myself anyway. But I just kind of put it out there in case it helps, anyone else. I'm still on the patch. I'm not smoking, but I'm still on the patch. And I got down to the 7 milligrams for a couple days, and I knew I was going to smoke. Like I just knew it. So I went back up to the 14 milligrams for a little bit longer, and then I'm going to try to step back down to the 7 milligrams, pretty soon. And hopefully that will be a little bit easier this time. Became vegan 6 days ago now. So actually, the vegan part's not that hard, at least not yet. I have had, which I shared with someone that I talked to online, I have had some dreams about eating dairy products. But other than that, I don't have any real cravings. No meat cravings or anything, but I was like a vegetarian for a couple years, several years ago. So dropping meat wasn't really, that hard for me. Um, the next thing I want to talk about is uh, I don't I talk about certain things on my channel, and I don't like to be boxed in to what I talk about. Like we all know, I talk about agoraphobia, benzo withdrawal, my mother's health, my health, and my health is still a major topic for me because it's something that I deal with on a daily basis. And it sucks because it's like, I look fine, but I'm not fine. And I'm really not fine a lot of the times. As you all know, you have heard about my lung surgery. You have heard about, well, you saw my appendix surgery. I showed you, like, at least on Facebook, I showed you, like, the aftermath of having my appendix out. And I think I've shown you my bloating stomach. I've shown you my heart rates. I've shown you all sorts of things. But recently, I'm tired and I want it fixed. Whatever it is, it's going to be fixed. And I think manipulating things recently in my life has helped me come to that conclusion. Um, and partially my mother's death has also helped me come to that conclusion. I am more than being sick and being inside. It's ridiculous, at this point. I said it before, but something that's changed recently is I played with my diet for many years, and then going vegan now, which is yet another dietary change. I can honestly say that I've noticed some things that I hadn't noticed before. Like, for example, I ate like a whole bunch of pasta yesterday and I felt fine. Like, I wasn't bloating at all. Still want to be checked for the celiac just in case, but no bloating with that. I had rice, I had beans, I had some avocado, some peaches. Everything was fine, and I had said to you that I had the soy burgers, which I knew soy wasn't great, but just for the transition. And I ate one, and 20 minutes later, I hyped. Like, my heart went really high again. Well, it's always kind of high, but higher. And so I thought to myself, what the hell? Like, am I intolerant to soy? And that's when I looked at the soy patties, and they actually have two ingredients, and it's not monosodium glutamate, but it's two ingredients that's related to monosodium glutamate and combined together. That's what they make in your body. So I'm pretty sure I'm sensitive, to stuff like that. I have a lot of intolerances anyway. But the other thing I want to talk about is this. Okay, we're 3 minutes in now, so I just want to get to the point. I have been a long time believer in manifesting things into your life, and I think a lot of negative thoughts, and because of that, I've always been somewhat aware that I'm drawing this stuff to me, and because I'm aware that I'm doing it, it frightens me quite a bit when I catch myself thinking negatively, which oftentimes is very often that I'm doing, stuff like that. I want to give you a quick example. In 2006, I moved up here and I wasn't feeling well, and I got it in my head that I was going to get called to jury duty. And what happens if I get called to jury duty? I'm going to have to go to court. I'm feeling so sick, and what am I going to do? Like, I have too much anxiety for that, and I've never been called to jury duty in my life, like ever. And so where would that thought come from? But it was there, and I dwelled on it like day and night. I'd be on the internet, and then once in a while I'd think, oh, I hope I don't ever get called to jury duty. Started looking up stuff about jury duty, and guess what happened 3 weeks later? I got a notice in the mail summoning me to jury duty. And so then I had to go to the doctor I was seeing at the time, who knew I was sick, and try to get out of it. And then they were like, oh, well, this might be good for you. Because this is back when it was just anxiety, not the health issues, that I'm having now. So I was just sick from the anxiety part of it. And I said, well, no, because even if I think the person's not guilty, I'm going to say they're guilty with everyone else just to get out of there. And that's not fair to the other person. And as soon as I said that, like, I think it clicked with the doctor. And so he signed off on it, gave me a note. I sent it in. I didn't have to do jury duty. But it got me thinking even more about stuff I've already known for a long time, which was I'm drawing this to me. And then a lot of things we're all doing is we're just drawing it to ourselves. Because if I've never been called to jury duty, I suddenly become very concerned about it, and now I get a letter saying you have to go to jury duty. So with some things I can reverse it. Like, for example, things that I don't fear and I'm not concerned about, like abundance. Um, I'm not concerned about making money. If I do, if I don't, fine. I have favorite objects that I would like in my life. If I get them, great. But if I don't, I can live without it. Those type of things I seem to be able to bring in. Um, for example, okay, recently with the whole switch to the vegan diet and the quitting of smoking, I started thinking, well, let me start burning candles and incense because I miss playing with my lighter. And when I was doing that, I was on the computer because it's like in front of me, but at the same time I was focusing on stuff that I wanted. Some things that I've said to you guys before, like I want a Sphynx cat, the bald cat and everything, which costs like between $900 to $2,000 depending on the cat. And I needed some winter clothes, and I started getting some amulets and stuff that I thought were cool, that were cheap, because I don't have a lot of money, but things that I can afford. And so I started doing these things. And within, I would say, the past week, first of all, Keith was getting rid of some clothes. He had some clothes from Florida that were oversized for him. He's like, oh, I think these will fit you. Here, try these sweaters on. And I didn't think anything of it. And like a couple of them I liked. The other one I, didn't really care for. He's like, oh, I'll just throw that one out. Here's these. Okay, so now I have sweaters that I didn't have before. Okay, so there's that. Then the next thing is this person I talk to online all the time and on the phone, he says to me, oh, I didn't know you liked Sphynx cats. I used to have a cattery, and I know people who raise all these, cats for cat shows and stuff. Let me, get on the horn and see what I can do. He calls me 24 hours later to tell me that there's a cat right now that's pregnant with multiple kittens, obviously, because they have like a litter. And she's willing to give it to me for free, as long as they don't all look like show cats. But she has another female that's pregnant too. And so out of one of those, she's going to pick one for me, and she's going to fly it to Albany because she flies all over the country delivering cats to people because she's very much into cat shows and very much into this whole thing. This is her, her job that she's made for herself. And so at a certain point in the next 3 to 4.5 months, as it stands now, there's a woman getting on an aircraft from Minnesota to fly to Albany for me to go to the airport and pick up my brand new Sphynx. Now, will it happen? Well, I don't know. I mean, like, things can change, but that's the deal right now. That's weird. Then my friend says to me, oh, I have these necklaces. I don't know. He's like, he said he feels too old to wear them now, but he's not. But he feels like he's too old to wear them now. He's like, oh, it's carved out of this, and it's, an Italian horn. I want to send them to you. Can I send those to you? And I was like, yeah, sure. And then tonight, I sign onto one of my credit cards to, see how much my payment is, because I know I'm getting kind of close to my limit on that again. And I want to, start paying it down. Because, when you order online, everything's credit card. I go to the supermarket, credit card, I keep paying it off, everything. And I sign on, they extended my limit by $1,000. So, which I have to be careful because I don't want to go over a certain amount because I don't want to owe that much money, but that's not the point. My point is, in a matter of a week, I got free sweaters, having necklaces sent to me, Sphynx cat, which is not cheap, $1,000 credit limit increase. And I thought, okay, this confirms certain things because I did something many years ago, and I always say not to sound crazy, but if you think I'm crazy, you're just think it. Many years ago, I got popcorn seeds at the supermarket, and I had some Susan B. Anthony coins, and I put them into an aquarium, and I filled it with dirt, and I buried the Susan B. Anthony coins. And then I took the corn and I put it into the aquarium and I planted it. And I said to myself, the higher the corn grows, the more money you're going to get. And so it started to grow, and I won like, a couple dollars on a scratch off lottery ticket. I ended up finding $20 on the ground. My grandmother had been sick for a long time, had recently passed away, and they found that there was money that she had left for certain things, and that ended up getting me a car, which was a Geo Metro. It's scary because it was a small car, but the point was, is this is all when it's happening, and then the corn died because it got too big in the container and stopped. And I don't know if I dug up the Susan B. Anthony coin and just threw the whole thing out eventually when I moved. I can't remember. But the point is we're doing this. And I watched something very important recently, which is, people say, oh, burn a candle, light incense, pray to the Virgin Mary, do the, what's it called, the rosary, 30 times. And I remember something from when something that I read a long time ago. And this book, I'm not saying read it because it's very big. I was looking for a smaller one to show you because I have several on this topic. It's called New Thought. And New Thought is based in Christianity. Well, it's an off branch of Christianity. And it was by this guy named Ernest something. I can't remember his name. If you look up New Thought and type in Ernest, it's going to come up. And what he found out was that these people were going to healers, they were going to, different things, like they would do different things and they get healed. But then he found out that it wasn't the healer that was actually curing the person. It was the person believing that the healer had cured them. Similar with doctors, where I've talked about, placebo, nocebo, the bad effect, the good effect that you can get from medications, doctors, stuff like that. Like they can give you a sugar pill, all of a sudden you get cured, but there was nothing there. It was just your belief behind it. And that's what New Thought is really based on. And that extends into the whole pagan realm, extends into, different things you might read about esoteric information. And even that Carnegie guy, there's a video you can find with him where he talks about, this type of thing. The point is I'm still a person that feels that they need a tool. So for me, I'll burn a candle, I'll light incense, I'll pray to a God in my head. These are the tools that I feel that I need in order to manifest. Other people who are beyond the tool point know it's just them. And even though I know it's just them, for me, I need to create a focal point. If that's a green candle, a black candle, a red candle, if that's amber incense, Majahari incense, any of that stuff, that makes my focal point, and that's where I focus. Very quick side note, this company with incense, they're online, and that's their name up there. I can't even pronounce it, but they make great incense. It's hand rolled in India, and 10% of their profits go to the widows in India who are suffering right now. So it's cheap and it helps. So, and it fell. But either way, just a good company. But there is things that you can do. My only concern for myself is this. I have a lot of unconscious thoughts, which I was aware from reading a book before you can change through hypnosis. Then I came in contact with someone again recently who has hypnosis stuff out to change that and, help change your life. So definitely gonna be watching those videos from her, which is Crystal Hutchins. Still very interested in things that she has to say. And I'm just trying to tell all you guys that this is so much within your control, that we're manifesting all these things, that thoughts really are ideas. And when someone's like, well, thoughts aren't ideas, thoughts aren't matter. Well, someone had a thought to create the candle, and now I have a candle. But if they didn't put their thought out there and make it into something, I wouldn't have it. What can I hold up? Like just anything, like the lighter I use to light my candles with right now. Keith found it on the ground outside. It's actually a Sagittarius on it. But the thing is, someone thought this, designed this, made this, and now it's part of our world. It's part of our consciousness. So thoughts are things. And what you choose to think and choose to do with them, it can be to your benefit and it can be to your destruction. So I feel like I'm babbling in this video, but what I want to do is I want to see what can I do in the next 100 days. What can I do that at the end of this 100 days, I will either be destroyed, dead, better, or in a whole different place than where I am right now. Because I believe that fear, people call things different. People call things demons, people call things entities, energies. I just use the term demon for a negative energy, it's just my thing, but I believe fear is a demon, and I believe it's a master. That it's your master. You are scared to do something because it will punish you somehow. And I listened to something recently which really brought that home to me, which was, you can fear something and you think, well, it's probably not true, but you don't test it. And the reason why you don't test that is because if that bad thing happens that you think is going to happen, well, then it makes it true. And the fear stands back and says, I'll let you have that doubt as long as you obey me, but don't test me, because if you test me, I'll make that bad thing happen to you, and then you won't be able to even have that doubt anymore. Then you'll be traumatized and you'll cease from existence. You will have all this horrible drama, in your life. You'll never recover. You'll never get over anything. It's hard to explain how he put it, but I started to think, you know what? I need a lot of things done, as you all know. I've complained for a long time, as you all know. Gone through a lot of things, which some was probably thoughts and some was just chance that was happening. But I want to see, where am I 100 days from now? If I can make myself do things, and if I can bring all this other stuff to myself, negative and positive, what can I do if I really set my intention on what I want and try to minimize the fear? Because here's the thing, I can go in to have a medical test, shaking, vomiting, not sleeping, pale, and come out of it and it's over. Or it kills me, whichever, which is my concern, or makes me worse off than I am now. But the thing is, where will I be in 100 days? And so let's find out. Where will Brian be in 100 days? Is it going to be the same? Is it going to be completely beyond different that will make you guys feel, oh no, I want to do what he just did? How much suffering will I have to go through? Will it be worth it? And I'm willing to bet it probably is going to be worth it. And maybe it won't. See, here's like the thing that goes through my head. I got to tell you guys up front right now what my concern is. I have a lot of colon problems, a lot of stomach problems. I've had a grandfather that died. He was diagnosed at my age with stomach cancer, and he died at 40. My mother had the colon cancer. It spread to her liver. There's like all this weird health in my family, and then things I've read and concerns that I have. Here's my thing. I'm scared of having the colonoscopy, point blank. I want to be more honest with you guys. Here's my fear. Scared of the colonoscopy because in my mind, they're going to puncture my colon, or they're going to find a disease in my colon, remove my colon, and then I'll have a colostomy bag, and then no one will find me attractive anymore. So it comes down to vanity, right? Because no one will want to sleep with me anymore. No one's going to want to, I can look younger than my age. I can buy the most expensive clothes in the world, but at the end of the day, when my clothes come off and that person's there, I have a colostomy bag. That's the fear. The other fear is with the endoscopy and even with the colonoscopy, they'll puncture me and I'll hemorrhage because, see, I don't like blood. And so my mind plays these movies of like blood spraying out of my mouth, flipping out on the table, like just shaking until I drop dead. I'm scared of something breaking loose in my heart, clogging my heart up, and having a massive heart attack. I'm scared of having the chest x-ray because in my mind they're going to take the x-ray and it's going to show an image in it and they're going to say, oh, you have cancer. I've been through so much I'm kind of traumatized at this point, but I know that most of what I think about is not even true. It's fantasy in my head, but I'm living in the fantasy of what's wrong because I've been kind of like traumatized, basically. Like I said, it's just, I'm scared. And the other thing is too, is not accepting things from people. I start talking to people and I start to worry, oh, they're really nice, they're really cool, they're going to judge me. As soon as they know what I'm all about, they're really going to judge me. Because how am I supposed to have a message about benzodiazepines and, all this scientific information, and then the other people with the agoraphobia, and then the agoraphobia people are going to say, oh, he's talking about benzos now, and the benzo people are going to be like, oh, well, that really helped me, but he's way out into the, loony bin world of talking about manifesting now. He's all into the spiritual thing. Maybe I shouldn't have listened to him before because he's crazy. But that's not it. It's just a metamorphosis of stuff. It's about living, moving on, and seeing what you can do. Because I know a lot of people that watch me feel the same way I do. You're trapped. You're trapped in fear. You're trapped in sickness. You're trapped in relationships, which is fine. You can be trapped in a relationship as long as you don't lose your individuality. And as long as within that individuality, you know you're part of a whole, that none of us are really separate. Things that I tend to hate in other people are things that I hate about myself. Some people that watch me, I wish they get that. Like the things that you don't like about me, it's probably things you don't like about yourself or things that you judge about yourself. But yeah, okay, so it's midnight now. It just hit exactly midnight. So I'm going to start a count. Today's day one. I'll label this as day one with whatever title I add. Let's see where I am 100 days from now. How much did I accomplish? What happened to me? If it's really negative and bad, run for your life. If it's good, then jump in and do it. Because I'm telling you right now, there is no way that in 6 days, when you add up everything that's coming towards me, whether it's the credit, the cat, the sweaters, the necklaces, where did $2,500 come from? If not more, depending on what the cat looks like. Where did that come from? And another video I want to do very soon is just simply talking about giving, not being in, I won't use my own words, but it's her words too, like a poverty mentality, which is something that I'm also very aware of and have been for a long time. You can give, and you can give in ways that you've never dreamed you could give. Even if you're at home, you're sick, you're in a wheelchair, you're in bed, all you have is a debit card, you feel like you can't go, you can't donate your time, there's a lot you can do. And I've done it. And I've done it for years, on and off. And so I'm going to teach you how to do that. So I'll talk about that in another video, but hey, okay, day one. Where am I going to be in 100 days? Well, I look fine, but I'm not fine. And I'm really not fine a lot of the times. As you all know, you have heard about my lung surgery. You have heard about, well, you saw my appendix surgery. I showed you, like, at least on Facebook, I showed you, like, you know, the aftermath of having my appendix out. And I think I've shown you my bloating stomach. I've shown you my heart rates. I've shown you all sorts of things. But recently, you know, pretty soon, and hopefully that will be a little bit easier this time. Became vegan 6 days ago now. So actually, the vegan part's not that hard, at least not yet. I have had, which I shared with someone that I talked to online, I have had some dreams about eating dairy products. But other than that, I don't have any real cravings, no meat cravings or anything, but I was like a vegetarian for a couple years, several years ago, so dropping meat wasn't really, you know, that hard for me. The next thing I want to talk about is, I talk about certain things on my channel, and I don't like to be boxed in to what I talk about. Like we all know, I talk about agoraphobia, benzo withdrawal, my mother's health, my health, and my health is still a major topic for me because it's something that I deal with on a daily basis. And it sucks because it's like, you know, hey guys, it's me again. I just want to do an update video. It's kind of late again, so hopefully the volume's not too bad. I just wanted to give you all an update and then start a new project for myself, which a lot of my videos are for myself anyway, but I just kind of put it out there in case it helps, you know, anyone else. I'm still on the patch. I'm not smoking, but I'm still on the patch. And I got down to the 7 milligrams for a couple days, and I knew I was going to smoke. Like, I just knew it. So I went back up to the 14 milligrams for a little bit longer, and then I'm going to try to step back down to the 7 milligrams